A study once tracked physicians earning over $250,000 annually for 30 years. Their average net worth at retirement? Just over $1 million. During that same period, a postal worker earning $45,000 accumulated nearly $4 million. The same time frame. The doctor earned 5 times more income every single year. The postal worker retired 3 times wealthier. This isn't an outlier. This is the pattern. High income and wealth are completely different things. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep and multiply. One measures how much flows through your hands. The other measures how much sticks. The American financial system has built a perfect trap. As your income rises, the system ensures your expenses rise even faster. And most high earners never see it coming. Today, we're examining 8 reasons why earning more money often leads to having less wealth. These aren't theories. They're the mathematical realities that explain why people making $400,000 a year feel broke while people making $80,000 build fortunes. High earners get destroyed by taxes. Wealth builders barely pay any. A doctor earning $450,000 as salary pays over 40% in taxes. She takes home roughly $250,000. A real estate investor earning that same $450,000 from property rentals pays around 20% in taxes. He takes home $350,000. Same income. One person keeps $100,000 more every single year. But here's where it gets worse. The doctor has no way to reduce those taxes. Every dollar she earns gets hit immediately. The real estate investor? He can defer taxes indefinitely by rolling properties. He can use depreciation to make his income look smaller on paper. His effective tax rate often drops to single digits. This is why Jeff Bezos, worth nearly $200 billion, paid barely over 1% in taxes for years. His wealth came from assets appreciating, not from a salary. The system is designed this way. It punishes people who work for money. It rewards people whose money works for them. A high-income professional earning $400,000 for 30 years will pay roughly $5 million in taxes they could have avoided if that same income came from the right sources. The lesson: it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And the tax code determines who keeps what. Here's the pattern almost everyone follows. At $75,000 a year, you spend $55,000. You save $20,000. Life feels tight but manageable. You get promoted. Now you're earning $150,000. Your income doubled. But something strange happens. You move to a better neighborhood. The rent jumps from $1,800 to $3,200 a month. You upgrade to a nicer car. The gym membership gets more expensive. The vacations get better. The restaurants get fancier. Suddenly you're spending $100,000 instead of $55,000. You're saving $50,000 instead of $20,000. Wait, your income doubled, but your savings only went up $30,000. Where did the other $45,000 go? It vanished into lifestyle upgrades that felt necessary but weren't. Then you hit $300,000. Now you're really successful. Elite neighborhood, private schools, country club, nanny, better car. And somehow, despite earning $300,000, you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're spending every dollar you make, sometimes more. The person still earning $75,000 and saving $20,000 a year? In 30 years, they'll have over $2 million. The person earning $300,000 but saving nothing. They'll have debt. This is the treadmill. You run faster, but you never get ahead. Because every time your income rises, the system convinces you to spend even more. High-income professionals trade their time for money. Wealthy people trade money for other people's time. A lawyer bills 2,400 hours a year. She makes great money, let's say $300,000 after the firm takes their cut. And she's maxed out. There are only so many hours in a year. To earn more, she'd need to bill more hours, but she's already at her limit. Now look at a business owner making that same $300,000, but he's not doing all the work. He has 8 people working for him, each generating profit. He's only working 20 hours a week managing them. The lawyer is trapped. Her income is capped by time. The business owner has leverage. He can hire more people, scale the business, double his income without doubling his hours. Over 20 years, the lawyer works twice as many hours, earns half as much total wealth, and ends up exhausted. The business owner? He's built something that works without him. That's the difference between high income and real wealth. Surgeons make $500,000 a year but rarely build fortunes beyond their retirement accounts. Why? Because they're trading irreplaceable time for money. Business owners making $200,000 retire with 8-figure net worths. Why? Because they've built systems that generate money without consuming their time. High-income professionals invest in safe, low-return assets. Wealth builders access high-return private deals. A typical doctor or lawyer puts money into index funds and bonds. Safe. Simple. Returns about 7% a year. A typical wealthy person invests in private real estate deals, private equity, angel investments. Riskier. More complex. Returns often 15 to 20% a year. Same $100,000 invested for 30 years. At 7%, you get about $8 million. At 18%, you get about $80 million. That's a tenfold difference from where you put your money. But why don't high earners access these better investments? 3 reasons. They don't know these deals exist, they don't have time to research them, and their financial advisors make money selling them mutual funds, not private deals. Meanwhile, wealthy people spend 20 hours a week going to conferences, meeting investors, evaluating opportunities. They've structured their entire lives around accessing better investments. The irony: high-income professionals have the money to invest, but not the time or knowledge. So they settle for average returns, while wealthy people compound at double or triple the rate. To get promoted in corporate America, you need to look successful. And looking successful is expensive. A consultant trying to make partner needs the luxury car lease, the designer suits, the expensive watch, the right neighborhood, the country club membership. Total cost? Over $120,000 a year just to maintain appearances. Here's the trap. If she doesn't spend this money, she won't get promoted. She'll plateau at $280,000 a year. If she does spend it, she gets promoted to partner. Her income jumps to $650,000. Sounds great, right? Except now the costume costs even more. Vacation home, private school, better car, enhanced club membership. Now she's spending $250,000 a year on appearances. Over her career, the cost of looking successful? Over $20 million in money that could have been invested. Compare this to someone who chose a different path. Started a business where nobody cares what car you drive. Built wealth without needing to display wealth. Warren Buffett succeeded in investing where your returns matter more than your suit. Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook wearing hoodies. These industries don't punish you for living modestly. But in law, consulting, investment banking, corporate America, living modestly signals failure. And that requirement makes building actual wealth nearly impossible. High earners use debt to buy things that lose value. Wealth builders use debt to buy things that gain value. Take 2 people, both earning $320,000 a year. Person A borrows for a big house, 2 luxury cars, and uses credit cards for lifestyle. Total debt, $1.5 million. They're paying almost $100,000 a year in interest. After 30 years, they've paid $3 million in interest and own a house worth maybe $3.5 million. Person B borrows for rental properties and a business. Same amount of debt, actually more, about $2 million, but tenants pay the rental mortgages. The business pays its own loan. Person B only pays $27,000 a year out of pocket. After 30 years, the rental properties are worth $5 million and the business is worth $3 million. The primary home is worth $1 million. Total, $9 million in assets. Person A spent more on debt, worked just as hard, and ended up with a fraction of the wealth. The difference: one person borrowed to look rich, The other borrowed to get rich. Debt isn't good or bad. It's a tool. The question is, what are you using it to build? High earners are told to max out their 401k. Put in $23,000 a year, get a tax break, let it grow until you're 60. Sounds smart, and for some people, it is. But here's the problem. That money is locked up. You can't touch it for 25 years without massive penalties. During those 25 years, opportunities appear. A business for sale, a real estate deal, a partnership opportunity. All of them require immediate cash. The high earner with $800,000 in their 401k can't access it. They watch opportunities pass by while their money sits locked in mutual funds. The wealth builder with $800,000 in regular investment accounts? They deploy it immediately into a private deal returning 25% a year. 10 years later, the 401k has grown to maybe $2 million and the private investment has grown to $9 million. The gap, $7 million from having flexible money instead of locked money. Retirement accounts are designed to help you retire comfortably at 65. They're not designed to help you build generational wealth. The wealthy optimize for building wealth at 35, not spending wealth at 65. That's a completely different game with completely different rules. High-income professionals optimize for this quarter's bonus. Wealth builders optimize for the next decade. Corporate executive works 75 hours a week chasing quarterly targets, gets an $85,000 annual bonus. Over 25 years, earns $2 million in bonuses, retires with $4 million total net worth. But here's what that focus cost her. She never started the side business that would have been worth $8 million. Never learned about real estate investing that would have generated $12 million. Never built the outside network that would have provided access to deals worth $6 million. She traded $26 million in long-term wealth for $2 million in short-term bonuses. Meanwhile, the wealth builder worked 50 hours a week instead of 75. Her quarterly bonuses were half as big, only $42,000. But she used those extra 25 hours a week to build a side business, invest in real estate, develop relationships with investors. Her side business grows to $500,000 a year. Her real estate generates $240,000 a year. Her investments return millions. She retires with $46 million. Same starting income. One person played a 25-year game in 100 quarterly chunks. The other played it as one continuous investment. Professional athletes earning $30 million over 5 years often go bankrupt. Business owners earning $150,000 a year for 30 years retire wealthy. The difference? Time horizon. 8 reasons. 8 traps that catch almost everyone who earns high income. The system is designed perfectly. As you earn more, you pay more in taxes. You're pressured to spend more to signal success. Your time gets consumed, preventing strategic investing. You're steered toward low-return investments. You borrow for lifestyle instead of assets. Your money gets locked up, and you're trained to think quarterly instead of in decades. Every single mechanism prevents income from becoming wealth. Let me show you what this looks like in real numbers. 2 people. Both earn $400,000 a year for 30 years. Person A follows conventional advice, takes the salary as W-2 income, upgrades lifestyle with each raise, works 70-hour weeks with no time for side investments, maxes out 401k in standard mutual funds, buys the right house and cars to signal success, borrows for lifestyle, focuses on quarterly performance. Person A retires at 65 with $4 million. Comfortable, secure, not wealthy. Person B understands the game, structures income to minimize taxes, resists lifestyle inflation, builds systems that don't require their time, invests in private deals with higher returns, lives modestly regardless of income, borrows to acquire assets, thinks in decades. Person B retires at 65 with $227 million. Generational wealth. Same income for 30 years. 50-fold different outcomes. This isn't about being cheap. It's not about denying yourself. It's about understanding that income and wealth are different games with different rules. The system wants you to believe that earning $400,000 makes you rich. It doesn't. It makes you high income. Whether you become actually wealthy depends entirely on what you do with that income. Here's what most people miss. The system actively fights against you converting income to wealth. When you try to keep more money, higher tax brackets take it. When you try to live modestly, your career advancement suffers. When you try to invest better, you lack access and knowledge. When you try to borrow strategically, banks push consumption loans. When you try to keep money flexible, advisors push retirement accounts. When you try to think long-term, your company demands quarterly results. Every mechanism pushes you toward high income and low wealth. Breaking free requires seeing the trap. Most high earners never do. They're too busy earning to build wealth, too focused on this quarter to plan for this decade, too concerned with looking successful to become actually successful. The tragic part? They work incredibly hard. They're talented. They're disciplined. They do everything right according to conventional wisdom. And they end up with 1/50th the wealth of someone who understood that conventional wisdom is designed to keep you earning, not building. Think about what we've discussed. The doctor earning $450,000 loses $100,000 a year to unnecessary taxes. Over 30 years, that's $3 million gone. The person who upgrades lifestyle with each raise ends up spending $300,000 a year despite earning it. They save nothing, while someone earning $75,000 builds millions. The lawyer billing maximum hours has zero leverage. The business owner working half those hours builds 10 times the wealth. The professional in mutual funds gets 7% returns. The wealth builder in private deals gets 18% returns. Same capital, 10-fold different outcomes. The corporate climber spends $150,000 a year looking successful. The entrepreneur spends nothing on appearances and becomes actually successful. The executive finances a lifestyle with debt. The investor finances assets with debt. Same debt, opposite results. The high earner locks money in retirement accounts. The wealth builder keeps it accessible for opportunities. One retires comfortable. The other retires with generational wealth. The quarterly focused professional sacrifices decades for bonuses. The decade-focused builder sacrifices bonuses for decades. This is the gap. This is why high income doesn't make you rich. Income is potential energy. Like a boulder sitting at the top of a mountain. It has tremendous power. But power doesn't become wealth until it's properly deployed. Most high earners let that boulder roll randomly. They have no system for deployment. They follow conventional advice designed to benefit everyone except them. The tax system, the consumption economy, the financial advisory industry, the corporate promotion structure, the debt markets, the retirement account industry, the quarterly reporting culture. All of it is engineered to keep you on the treadmill, running faster, earning more, building less. The people who escape this trap do three things. First, they recognize that income and wealth are different games. They stop optimizing for income and start optimizing for wealth. Second, they resist every pressure the system applies. They don't upgrade lifestyle with raises. Don't signal success through consumption. Don't lock up money. Don't think quarterly. Third, they build systems. Systems that minimize taxes, that generate income without consuming time, that provide access to better investments, that use debt productively. It's not complicated, but it's completely different from what everyone around you is doing. And that's the hardest part. The social pressure is enormous. You're the partner who drives a modest car, the executive who lives below their means, the professional who could afford better. People will question you, some will judge you, many won't understand. But after 10 years, something shifts. Your investments generate more than your peers spend on appearances. After 20 years, you have options they don't. After 30 years, you have wealth they can't imagine. Because you understood something they didn't. The person earning $150,000 and building wealth will always end up richer than the person earning $450,000 and chasing income. Different games, different scorecards, different winners. The question isn't whether you earn $150,000 or $450,000. The question is, which game are you playing?